You're watching the Kop TV, the voice of football's most famous stand.
Salah to settle it in front of the Kop.
Good afternoon, people. Welcome back to the Kop TV, the voice of football's most famous stand, the Kop. Great to have you back. This is, of course, your press conference reaction video. Lots to fill you in on, so let's get straight into it. Jurgen Klopp spoke to the press at 1:30, and straight away he was asked about the potential introduction of the blue card. Now, I've had a little bit of a think on this, and for me, show the blue card, the red card, right? I'll be right. IFAB, right, that's it. Let me get this open. IFAB. In trying to introduce a blue card, that's a straight red card from me, right? And Jurgen Klopp, on the blue card idea, said, I think it shows we should keep it as simple as possible for the refs. We get emotional when we speak because it's usually after a game. A new card would just give them more opportunities to fail as well. It's more complicated. He said, it doesn't sound like a fantastic idea at the moment, but I can't remember the last fantastic idea from these guys at IFAB, and I'm 56. He then said he'd be open for a test, but it's not a fantastic idea. And I'm totally with Klopp. I mean, there was some breaking news actually just now that potentially they're going to bin it off because the kind of response that they've seen online in the last day or so has proved to everyone that it's not the best idea. I mean, my personal opinion on it, and I've heard Paul Merson speak on it. I've been watching the news this morning. I've barely seen anyone for it, a lot of against. And to give you my opinion, I mean, it's ridiculous. It is not the game that I grew up watching anymore if that rule comes into play. I mean, let's say, for instance, right, let's say Curtis Jones and Diogo Jota, obviously we finished the game with 9 men against Tottenham. They're the 2 players that got sent off. Let's just say, for instance, that they both get a blue card. And let's say combine they're out for 20 minutes, right? It's a 10-minute sin bin. Very similar to rugby, which I don't think we should be taking any kind of influence from. But let's say they both get sent off for 10 minutes. Liverpool park the bus. Tottenham attack for 20 minutes. They come back on, the game is reversed again, then Liverpool attack. It creates an unfair advantage to the team that have the player in the sin bin as opposed to the team with 11 players on the pitch who can clearly, for 10 minutes, attack, and make sure that there's a kind of clear advantage to the attacking team that have the full set of players on the pitch. Now, for me, that just cannot happen. If you are going to make some changes, make them to VAR or the people that control the VAR. They've already come out this week and said that Liverpool are the most affected team this season in the way of wrong VAR decisions. So to introduce a blue card, I mean, if anything, in between a yellow and a red, surely it's an orange card. I don't know where blue came from. So that's another red card to IFAB. Ridiculous proposal to introduce a blue card that I think firmly the football world has shunned in the last day or two. Of course, we'll let you know if we hear more on that. But as things stand, 99% of people that we've seen and heard from in the last day do not think it's a good idea. And again, it's introducing a rule that just benefits the referees. It gives them more power. Just give more yellow cards as opposed to a 10-minute sin bin. I think it's ridiculous. And again, to reiterate, the game, the rules, the changes, I mean, there hasn't been... I think the yellow card was, or the red, I might be confused, was only introduced 50 years ago. Why change it? As I said, the game is not the same as the one I grew up watching. But anyway, that's the blue card. That's what Klopp thinks of the blue card. And again, just to confirm it, show the blue card, the red card. No chance. Right, injuries. He says Szoboszlai is fighting for the next games. The final, I don't know. We could see Szoboszlai returning soon. Klopp also went on to confirm that he's outside running. So again, that's good. It probably means that he'll be training full with the squad next week and probably won't be around for the Brentford game. But is there a chance he could be around for the Luton game? Who knows? But for the final, I would assume that he would be involved. On Conor Bradley, right? And again, quite a controversial question to ask Jurgen Klopp, whoever did ask it in that press conference. But he said the question was, have we got an update on Conor Bradley's kind of mental state? And he said, I think the mental state is nothing for us to discuss. We need to show empathy, but maybe next week, if he is not ready, then that is fine by us. No rush. At the moment, he is still with his family. It's a private discussion, not one for the public, which I totally agree with. Listen, some real lowlives taking pictures of Conor Bradley at his dad's funeral on Monday or Tuesday, which I definitely don't agree with. And people posting that up to get likes, definitely don't agree with that. So you have to respect his privacy at the minute. You know, mentally, of course, he's going to be distraught. And it's not really down to us to speculate when he'll be back. It's totally down to Conor and the family. So again, handled that question really well, Jurgen. He also went on to say how tomorrow will be the first time that Liverpool have 60,000 in the stadium. The Anfield Road end will be fully operational tomorrow. He says we have to be absolutely spot on. We will have an increase of people in the stadium, which is really nice. It's long overdue as well. We can obviously introduce and welcome more Liverpool fans, which will be great. Let's create a special atmosphere and go for them. He also goes on to say how there's been an outbreak of flu in the squad, and he has to see who's available. He mentioned that Ibu Konate has maybe come down with something, but as we know, he'll be out anyway due to that red card at Arsenal. He said, 2 weeks we spoke about a luxury problem of no injuries. If anyone asks me again, I will kick them out of the room. You love to see it from Jurgen. He doesn't take any stuff. He just goes straight into it. Also on Mo Salah, he says he's outside running again. If it was down to Mo Salah would make himself available for next week. But he did go on to say Mo will be available for full training next week or the week after. But as we know, Mo, we saw pictures and videos of him in the gym yesterday on Inside LFC. And it looks like Mo is on the right path. He's in the right direction, as Klopp said there as well. So great to see that Mo is nearing a return. I think he should be back for the Luton game, if it isn't the Brentford game next Saturday. But again, you know, time still on our hands in terms of getting him ready for that final. So for me, that's the most important game he returns for, is that final. But he will be aiming to be back in training next week, potentially again making himself available for the trip to Brentford. If he can play in that, play him. But if you're going to save him a little bit, save him for the final, I think. On Thiago Alcantara's injury, he says it's not a big injury, but he also goes on to say it's definitely not cool, and that Liverpool do not yet know the full extent of the Thiago Alcantara muscle issue. I mean, he goes on to say no one's more disappointed than Thiago with this news, which kind of just breaks my heart. We're obviously super disappointed. Of course we are, but no one is going to be more disappointed than him himself. So listen, I wish I could give you a time stamp of when he's going to come back, but it doesn't look like any time soon. And as you saw me in the video yesterday, I mean, I've kind of given up on the fact that he might, give us 3 or 4 more standing ovations. I'm not too sure if that's going to actually happen now. So, yeah, interesting to hear Klopp speak on that, obviously reiterating that it is not cool, and he definitely doesn't have an extent of how long Thiago will actually be out for as well. He goes on to say as well about... obviously, we've spoken about Szoboszlai, Mo Salah coming back. He goes on to say that Endo will now be available, right? Brilliant news for Liverpool. He goes straight in at the number 6. I'm sure he does. And then that gives us an opportunity to play McAllister in a bit more of an advanced position, which he said, yeah, we can definitely do that. He's played well as a 6, so we can definitely play him as a little bit more forward, and he's very excited to see that as well. But yeah, just to reiterate, there are a few players now battling the flu in that Liverpool squad as well. He did go on to make a funny remark about Vincent Kompany. He was asked by a journalist who actually laughed when he was asking Jurgen Klopp, has he forgiven Vincent Kompany, the now Burnley manager, for that goal against Leicester? He said, I still think Maddison should have blocked the shot, and then said, it doesn't matter, but I forgave him a long time ago on that as well. Just a little bit more on the defeat for Arsenal. He said one loss felt like 5 losses. He said we have to be better, especially without the ball as well, which I totally agree with. But that is pretty much your Jurgen Klopp roundup. He's spoken about all the main things, really. Mo coming back, Endo's back, Szoboszlai still out, Thiago obviously out now, got a bit of flu going around the team. And of course, he did speak about the new blue card, which again, just for the final time, I will give the red card. But don't forget, we have no fan cams for you outside Anfield tomorrow. Unfortunately, both of our cameramen are away, but I will be doing the instant match reaction show straight after the game at full time. So please make sure you're back here tomorrow, 5 o'clock, and we'll have the instant match reaction for you, where hopefully we are reacting to another Liverpool win. Again, of course, our thoughts and prayers are with Conor Bradley as he is still with his family dealing with his loss. So make sure you smash that like button, comment with your thoughts about everything Klopp's spoken about today, and we'll see you back on the channel tomorrow. Take care.
Hey guys, thanks for watching this video. If you've enjoyed this, make sure you check out the rest of the channel too. There's other stuff you'll enjoy for sure.
Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe to the Kop TV.
The voice of football's most famous
dads. Come on.